Today I'm going to give you guys my review of The Dark Knight Rises. And this is going to be the last Batman review for now. Until I want to review BVS. Which, by the way, I will not be including BVS in this. Simply because that's more of a setup movie. So I won't really be able to talk about BVS in this video, in this series. Plus, I'm gonna have to kind of watch Snyder Cut to really get my thoughts on it. So, The Dark Knight Rises, the epic conclusion to the trilogy. Now, do I agree with that? And the answer is yes, I agree. Is it as good as The Dark Knight? No, The Dark Knight is still a much better movie. But it's still a great movie. All three of these movies are perfect, 10 out of 10. I actually went to see this movie in the theaters, but I probably didn't remember much of it. I didn't remember much of it. Because for some reason, even when I watch The Lorax and Kung Fu Panda 2 on cinemas as well, they seem different when I rewatch them, and it's the actual story. Maybe it was me, just my imagination, but yeah. Now, I'm not going to go into a plot because I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it. But yeah. I don't know what to say. I really like the connections this film actually has with the previous two movies. It's like you actually need to watch the previous two movies before watching this one. It's kind of the main problem with Supergirl, is that some seasons, are not even important to the main show. Like season 1, you go to season 2, don't worry, this isn't a spoiler, but there's literally nothing important from season 1 that you really need to. So you can literally just even skip season 1 to season 2, and from onwards, that's where it becomes more connected. Same with Legends to some extent, where even some seasons, like season 1 and 2 of Legends, don't connect very well. And that's the problem with the writing. The writing's trash. Whereas here it actually works perfect. I think Callum was a great character back in the film. Just because the mystery behind the character. She's first forced to work with Bane and his crime lord allies into fingerprints on Bruce Wayne. And when that happens, that automatically means Bane figures out that Batman is Bruce Wayne due to the fact that and plus Bane's a League of Shadows members. I really like the dynamic that Bane has in this one, where in the comics he's basically Batman's version of Doomsday. Meaning he has to be a little bit more realistic for Batman, obviously. I still like Bane as a character. It's one of my favorite villains in DC. But I think I really like how in this one he doesn't have the steroids or venom on him, just because that just makes, I think, even a weakened Batman in the Nolanverse could probably beat someone like that, because that's like saying I'm gonna put Bane, who's dependent on steroids, versus Grant Gustin's Flash. I'm pretty sure Flash would just win that fight. Not just because he's a speedster, but I mean he can literally Not because of speed, but I mean, he can literally is a much better fighter than Bane in that scenario. I think the idea is that Bane's intelligent enough that drugs can actually make him lose a fight, and he decided on just natural strength makes perfect sense for me. Even then, Bane was pretty intimidating as a character. Um, Especially with his dialogue, whenever he's like, you think darkness was your ally. You think the speed folks can help you. All I am is now your biggest nightmare. Like stuff like that works really well with Bane, and he essentially becomes a bigger, more powerful threat as in the film as he continues to destroy Gotham. Do I have any? Is there any negatives with the movie? No, no problems. Um, I'm gonna give this film an A or an A plus or A plus. Yeah, 10 out of 10. But what do you think of the movie? Do you like it? Do you hate it? If so, let me know in the comments. And as always, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.